Hello, expansive Sagittarius soul. Let's get straight to it. Your greatest breakthrough, one tied to wisdom and abundance, is arriving, and it's unfolding between December 9th and 10th, not someday in the distant future. Not after you've proven something or finished a degree, but right now. This is your moment, the very one your optimistic vision and relentless seeking of truth have been preparing for without even knowing it. And if you've landed on this video, hear me when I say it wasn't a fluke. You didn't end up here by coincidence. Something unseen has been stirring. A soaring realization that made your heart race. A flash of foresight that gave you goosebumps. A restless stirring in your spirit that felt like a whisper, calling you back to your highest trajectory. Whatever form it took, I want to honor it. Because this isn't just another forecast. This is a threshold. A space where your inner quest, divine timing, and the voice of the stars meet in one soaring, undeniable yes. Sagittarius, you move through the world with a kind of restless fire, philosophical seeking, and deep intuition. But this time, the energy is asking something different of you. It's not asking for more planning or more traveling. It's asking you to claim your expansion, to allow the universe to meet your big, open belief system. Because claiming your vision as you know in your spirit is its own sacred art. And over the next few minutes, we'll explore exactly why December 9th to 10th is pulsing with rare openings just for you. I'll guide you through what's happening in the sky, like the moon blazing into Aries and Jupiter aligning to deepen your capacity to hold the bigger life you've longed for. These alignments are subtle but potent, quietly stirring open doors of opportunity and philosophy that most overlook. And the cards echo the same thing. Breakthrough alignment and a powerful seed of inspiration waiting for your courage to meet it. I'll show you how to prepare not just your thoughts, but your movement, your vision, your energy field. So when the moment arrives, you'll know how to welcome it fully. But before we dive in, let me take a breath and say this from the center of my chest. Thank you for being here. Your presence, your choice to watch this video is meaningful. Every comment, every moment you spend here doesn't just support this work, it adds to the collective vision we're building together. So, if something in you already feels the truth of this message, take a second right now, drop a comment, and tell me the number that's been circling you lately. Is it 3, 9, 3, 3, 3, or something else entirely? Leave it below to anchor it into reality. When signs are witnessed together, their energy multiplies. Sagittarius, you are not standing still in this story. You are co-shaping what happens next. This portal is opening because you've been saying yes in your heart day after day. And if you stay with me through the rest of this message, I promise you'll leave. Not just understanding what's happening, but knowing how to claim what's yours. Let's begin. There's a quiet wisdom in the way timing weaves itself into the everyday. So seamless we rarely notice until something aligns so precisely it steals our breath. From December 9th to 10th, Sagittarius, your cosmic doorway doesn't just open, it ignites. This isn't just a moment of beautiful astrology. It's a sacred mirror, quietly reflecting back a version of you who has always been expansive, already ready, already rich in the wisdom that matters. On December 9th, as Jupiter's influence amplifies the fire in the sky, something deep within you begins to stir. Jupiter, your ruling planet, isn't only about luck and size. It's the quiet keeper of truth, the magnetic center of self-belief and abundance. This energy speaks in soaring tones about expansion, freedom, and claiming the long-distance vision you've held onto beneath your relentless optimism. It asks a question only you can answer. What part of you still feels unready to live the life your higher self has already designed? This rare alignment is an invitation, a soft and powerful one, to release any lingering belief that the big breakthrough was meant for someone else. You've waited. You've been watching the signs. But now the energy rises and says, leap forward. Your wisdom has outgrown the old boundaries. This is where your inner philosophy meets divine opportunity. And from that union, true prosperity begins to move. And just as you begin to root into this shift, the moon blazing into Aries rises, bringing passionate clarity to what has been left unspoken. New moons often mark culmination points, but in Aries, insight comes through courage, through the bold stories whispered in quiet moments, through what is felt and not just thought. A forgotten map may appear, an idea for travel resurfaces, a dynamic connection once overlooked may knock again. These moments might seem small, but they are not random. They are cosmic nudges asking, will you pay attention? The Sagittarius mind is grounded in foresight and big picture knowing. But during this time, it's not analysis that guides you, it's presence. The energy shifts the instant you stop labeling signs as noise and begin listening to them as sacred. What makes this period so striking is the sheer energy of Jupiter, a meeting of expansion and raw power. Jupiter amplifies all it touches. This is about opportunity made visible not through strain but through trust. You may discover something you thought was lost, an old financial thread, an offer you once turned away from, or even an opportunity you never felt ready to claim but now you are. This moment doesn't ask you to crawl. It asks you to see what's always been within reach, waiting for your yes to align. You may feel overwhelmed, and that's natural. Sometimes blessings arrive not like a map, but as a jolt of inspiration you'd forgotten. And here is where your ordinary becomes holy. How you respond to a message, how you answer an unexpected call, how you choose to say yes without needing 10 more signs, that's what determines whether this doorway stays open. It's no longer about proving. This is about receiving with bold, expansive grace. If you've been wondering why, now, remember, divine timing never needed your full understanding, only your participation. Like the old parables where small acts open the path to unthinkable provision. This window asks not for perfection, but alignment. A sudden quiet decision made from peace instead of panic. A single prayer whispered while gazing at the horizon. These can become the very channels your blessing travels through. So stay open, listen for the echo. Don't brush off a message just because it seems too simple. Miracles often arrive dressed in the familiar, but they carry a weight that feels entirely new. And Sagittarius, this is one of those moments. What seems like chance is often quiet choreography. When 3 cards, the Wheel of Fortune, Temperance, and Ace of Wands, gather in a Sagittarius reading during an energetic peak like this, it's never just a spread. It's a sequence stitched with intention. Each card sings in its own key, but together they map a path, where you've come from, what's calling you awake, and the seed you're meant to plant next. This isn't just about predicting a gain. It's about remembering the deeper thread. You're tied to the global legacy you're stepping into and the invitation you've been quietly preparing to accept. The Wheel of Fortune doesn't speak only of luck. It whispers of cosmic cycles of divine timing, of what's been set in motion over time and carried forward. It invites you to ask not just what you hope to receive, but what kind of freedom you are ready to claim, nurture, and pass on. Is there a quest, a truth, or an unopened opportunity from your own past that's waiting to awaken through your bold decision? For many Sagittarius souls, this isn't about striking it rich overnight. It's about waking up a long, sleeping pattern, something ancestral that lives in your sense of hope, in your deep-seated beliefs, in the soaring hopes of the future. This card reminds you that abundance isn't only about money. It's about movement, about shifting an old cycle into something more expansive. And then Temperance arrives, the card that calls the most quietly, but asks the most deeply. It doesn't accuse, it calls. Often when this card appears, it marks the moment just before your leap, the one where you've circled the edge, holding back, waiting for louder proof or better timing. But Temperance doesn't shout. It hums in the quiet places. Your heart still listens. Here, it might be asking, what vision have you kept on the shelf because it felt too big, too risky, or too early? What idea, offer, or calling keeps reappearing not as pressure but as promise? This is your reminder. Readiness often begins as a decision, not a feeling. Then comes the Ace of Wands, not as a dream but as a doorway, a physical signal of what becomes possible when your conviction and your future meet in harmony. It's not the whole journey, it's the spark. This card might show up as a sudden inspired idea, An out-of-the-blue travel offer, a non-financial opportunity you never expected. At first glance, it may seem small, but if fanned with presence and care, it could become something far beyond what you can picture right now. And that's the subtle magic of divine timing when it finally lands in the physical. In all my years walking with others through cosmic seasons like this, I've noticed something. The ones who receive the most aren't always the loudest. They're the ones who respond to the softest moments with the most trust. It reminds me of real stories. How one message sent one flight, booked one quiet leap, turned into an entirely new chapter. If this message feels like it's speaking directly to you, remember it's not about proving you deserve it. You already do. What matters now is how you position yourself emotionally, practically, and energetically to let it in. Because what's been circling you for so long can only land in a space that's open enough to hold it. This trio of cards is not just a forecast. It's an agreement, a quiet pact between your higher self and the version of life that's been patiently waiting for your participation. So don't just open your map. Open your mind, your perspective, your sense of what's possible. Because the thing that's trying to find you now won't force its way in. And the shift coming your way isn't just about having more. It's about seeing more clearly. Not every preparation for abundance looks like hustle. Sometimes it looks like choosing a new path, noticing the signs you've repeated without realizing, or seeking out a higher perspective. These are the quiet acts that align you with what's arriving, and they matter just as much as any grand decision. For Sagittarius, whose gift is vision and expansion, this phase of preparation isn't about pushing harder or proving your worth through effort. It's about aligning your inner belief system so it matches the opportunities already circling your life. You're not meant to chase what is already meant for you. You're simply asked to tune yourself to the frequency that allows it in. Color may appear like a surface detail, yet it speaks directly to both your philosophical body and your energy field. Deep royal purple carries a vibration of wisdom that encourages graceful receiving, especially for those who have learned to teach more than they allow themselves to learn. Turquoise brings a sense of expansive freedom and clear communication, reminding you that you're capable of holding abundance with integrity and truth. Fiery gold holds a bold confidence, the kind that belongs to someone who knows their destiny without needing to announce it. Wearing these colors isn't a performance. It's a quiet signal to your subconscious and the universe. It says, without effort, I am open and I am ready. Then there are the numbers that keep finding you. If you've been seeing 39 or 333 on receipts, clocks, or license plates, understand these are not random at all. Numbers are one of the universe's simplest ways to speak, and those who notice them often move in sync with deeper currents. The number 3 invites a sense of creative power and expansion, reminding you that abundance can flow through shared intention and bold ideas. The number 9 often appears when you're on the edge of a deep completion or about to receive the culmination of an old cycle. And 333 is the one that stirs your chest, signaling alignment and an energetic presence amplified. But this return becomes real only when you are still enough to notice and awake enough to receive. Preparation doesn't mean waiting passively. It means clearing room. It means saying no to what no longer reflects your vision, so you can say yes to what truly fits. It's the mental shift of thinking like someone who already carries what they desire, not in fantasy, but in responsibility. You look at the horizon. You revisit the goals you once wrote down and almost forgot. You speak your dreams out loud with ease instead of apology. These actions may seem small, yet they carry a large frequency, as if your future self is already walking beside you, waiting to be acknowledged. I've watched people transform their financial reality, not because they pushed harder, but because they began living in energetic agreement with the life they wanted. They stopped waiting for permission. They chose themselves day after day, and that steady choice opened doors in quiet, miraculous ways. I think of a woman I once guided, who began each morning with a single soft sentence: I receive what is already mine. Within a month, an overdue payment arrived, not due to force, but because her energy, her posture toward life, and her belief became aligned with receiving. So take inventory not only of what you need to do, but of the tone you're carrying. Notice what colors you're drawn to lately and which numbers keep showing up when you're not looking for them. Ask yourself what decision you've delayed simply because you feared what it might confirm. These answers are already speaking to you, gently shaping the path beneath your feet. When you listen with intention, you become magnetic, not through effort but through right timing, inspired ease, and aligned prosperity. Some of the most powerful turning points in a life aren't loud or dramatic at all. They begin in quiet moments, sparked by something as simple as a sentence spoken with sincerity. And that is what this ritual known as the wealthgate is truly here to awaken. It isn't about forcing a miracle, it's about making space for one. It's the steady choice to show up with your heart open, fully aligned with what you say you're ready to welcome next. When you write something by hand, especially an affirmation like, "I open to receive my abundance with freedom and expansion," you're not just forming words, you're guiding energy. You're taking a thought from the unseen and giving it shape, weight, and rhythm. Your breath deepens, your awareness focuses. You feel the scratch of pen against paper, the subtle anchoring of intention into your muscles, your spine, your fingertips. This is more than repetition. It's a ceremony, a bold and steady way of reminding your body what your spirit already knows. This act of writing is a kind of lighting. It sparks your belief into something solid. In Sagittarius language, it's where energy meets opportunity, where the invisible begins to take form in something tangible. And that's why it matters how you do it. Whether you whisper the words softly while writing or carve them slowly into a journal page that feels sacred, you are shaping a new internal rhythm. One where prosperity isn't a distant hope, but a reality. Your whole body is learning how to hold. And when you tuck that piece of paper into a container, maybe a travel journal, maybe a gold-trimmed envelope that feels regal, or maybe just the side pocket of your favorite wallet, you're doing something profound. You're telling the universe, this has a home. What I've asked for isn't floating. It's grounded. It's real. This isn't just symbolism. It's energetic precision. It's what manifestation actually is, not about asking from emptiness, but preparing from trust. I've seen shifts happen from these kinds of small, sacred acts. A woman I once worked with had her doubts about rituals, but something nudged her to write the affirmation anyway. No candles, no fanfare, just a sentence on a scrap of paper tucked away in her bag. 2 days later, a message arrived. An opportunity she thought was long closed suddenly reopened. She didn't force it. She didn't hustle her way in. She just made space, and that was enough. That's where action becomes amplifier. The moment you stop circling the idea of change and take even a gentle step, send the email, return the call, apply for the thing that quietly excites you, you move from hoping to allowing. The shift is subtle but powerful. And no, it doesn't require that you be perfectly ready. It simply asks that you be willing. I remind those I guide all the time. The doors you seek don't swing open for the version of you that has everything figured out. They open for the one who shows up with curiosity and courage. That willingness may feel shaky. It might not look like confidence, but it's enough. Because just like those stories we hear about, debts forgiven, jobs offered unexpectedly, or homes manifesting from nowhere, the common thread is rarely effort. It's alignment. It's that steady readiness that builds quietly over time. It's the body and the soul agreeing, I'm open now. So as you wake each morning between December 9th and 10th, and you place your hand gently over your chest, speak the words aloud, or even just whisper them if that's what feels right. I open to receive my abundance with freedom and expansion. Let your voice carry the weight of knowing, not a question, not a plea, a declaration. And every small choice you make from that place, every yes you say, every message you send, every moment you decide to trust yourself, is part of your offering, a gift to the future you're already walking toward. You don't need to stage a dramatic ritual to open this wealth gate. You only need to remember that it's never truly been locked. It was simply waiting for you to stand in front of it, waiting for you to meet it with a bold spirit and an open heart. Because manifestation isn't just energetic, it's embodied, it's physical. It's rooted in how you care for your body, how you move through your day, how you hold space in your life for what you claim to want. Your body isn't separate from your spiritual path. It is your most powerful ally, the vessel through which everything lands. And as this portal of alignment moves through December 9th to 10th, your body is not just a witness to your abundance. It is the doorway through which that abundance arrives. The steadier your vision, the more expansive your actions, the clearer your field becomes. Not because you're striving, but because you're finally ready to receive what was always meant for you. For Sagittarius, a sign ruled by Jupiter, your gift is movement, being deeply attuned to your freedom, your breath, your trajectory. That's why part of receiving your financial blessing means caring for your physical self in quiet, nurturing ways. When you're drained or stifled, even the most aligned energies can feel far away. But when your system feels supported, when your breath deepens and your spirit awakens to the world around you, blessings find room to settle. Small choices become sacred. Now, adding movement or a good deep stretch might seem ordinary, but they fortify the very system that helps you hold clarity and peace. Swapping scrolling for time spent focusing on the horizon may feel simple, yet it supports your shift from scattered energy to grounded calm. These are more than wellness tips. They are daily affirmations in action. They are your way of telling your body, I'm listening. I'm here, and I'm making space. Spending time in a new place is especially powerful during this window. When your gaze reaches across an open sky, or you explore a new path, your entire nervous system exhales. This is more than self-care. It's energetic cleansing. And in a moment like December 9th to 10th, when the universe is sending subtle invitations your way, clarity becomes essential. If you're always rushing, you might overlook a passing conversation, miss a meaningful email, or ignore the number repeating on a receipt. Slowing down isn't a luxury, it's a form of readiness. Emotionally, this is a time for honest boundaries. Sagittarius, your spirit is generous, but to fully receive, you must protect your own light. That may mean saying no when habit tells you to say yes, or having the honest conversation you've been postponing out of kindness. You can be light and firm at once. Guarding your energy isn't selfish, it's sacred. And don't underestimate the quiet power of love during this time. Sending a message to someone you care about, speaking what's long been in your heart, or simply allowing yourself to be supported. These small gestures ripple out. They don't just restore harmony in your relationships. They tell your body and soul that receiving is safe, that being open doesn't mean being unprotected. Love and prosperity are often intertwined. I once worked with someone who skipped every elaborate ritual and instead spent 5 minutes each morning whispering a prayer of thanks for a blessing that hadn't yet arrived. She sought out truth. She set kind boundaries. She followed her inner cues even when she didn't have all the answers. And days later, something shifted in her finances. Unexpected, unforced, undeniable. She didn't chase it. She aligned with it. And because she made space, it had somewhere to land. So if you're wondering whether your preparation is enough, let this be your reminder. You don't need to push harder. You don't need to be flawless. You just need to stay present. Trust that every kind choice for your spirit, every slow breath, every honest conversation is reshaping your energy in ways you might not yet see. And trust that what is truly meant for you will never pass you by. Especially when your whole being is finally ready to let it in. You don't need to ask when it will happen anymore. Sagittarius, it's already happening. You've been planting the seeds through your healing, your wisdom, your bold trust. And now, quietly, the soil beneath your life is shifting. Slowly but unmistakably, what you've prayed for is beginning to bloom. This is not the time to simply wish for change. It's the moment to become it. You're no longer the version of yourself who waits to be chosen or asks for signs louder than your own truth. You've already said yes. Even if it was quiet, even if it was trembling, even if it came in the silence of a sleepless night, that yes was enough. It set things in motion. So now I want to ask you, What would change if you believed the blessing had already arrived? How would you walk through your day? What would you choose to say yes to? And what would you finally be willing to release? How would you speak, act, dress? If you knew that abundance wasn't coming soon, but was already in the room, waiting for you to meet it. Let this video be more than something you simply watched. Let it become a threshold, a moment that marks the turning point between waiting and receiving, between hope and embodiment. You don't need to see the whole path, just the next step. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to stay in the room. And you've already begun just by being here with me in this moment. That simple act of presence means more than you know. So now, take a deep breath with me. Let your shoulders soften. Let your breath drop into your belly. Then place your hand gently over your heart and say the words aloud, or write them in the comments where others can witness you. I am ready to receive my abundance with freedom and expansion. Speak it slowly. Let it settle, because the moment you say it, something shifts, not just in your mind, but in your field, your body, your life. There is power in speaking it aloud. Even more power when you let others hear it, when you type it and send it into the world. This is how energy multiplies, through shared intention, through collective alignment. When you witness someone else claiming their abundance, something inside you feels it too. You're reminded that you're not dreaming alone, that this frequency is real, that it's active, that it's moving. Let this be the moment that you stop waiting and start embodying. Not next month, not when everything finally feels in place, but now. This is your moment to root into belief. Not fantasy belief, but the kind that rises from the ground up, steady and certain. And if this message stirred something in you, if it cracked something open, if it reminded you of the parts of you you'd almost forgotten, then I invite you to support this growing sacred space. Like the video, subscribe if you feel the resonance. And, most importantly, share this with someone whose light deserves to be reflected back to them. Because each small act, each click, each share, each word of affirmation extends this energy outward. It creates ripples. It opens new pathways for those who are quietly asking for guidance, for signs, for reminders that they are not behind, not forgotten, that their time is not coming, it's already here. This isn't just a space for astrology. This is a sanctuary where we learn to respond to the stars, not just interpret them, but live what they're offering. And you, dear Sagittarius, didn't stumble here by coincidence. You were drawn in because the timing was ripe, because something in you is no longer content to wait at the threshold. You are ready now, ready to allow, ready to expand, ready to feel your freedom, not as a concept, but as a living, breathing truth. The abundance you've been sensing, it's not a fantasy. It's not a maybe. It's real. It's near, and it's been circling you, patiently waiting for this moment where you finally say yes. Not from desperation, but from calm, bold certainty. Your biggest breakthrough isn't lingering on the horizon anymore. It's closer than your next breath. And you, Sagittarius, you're the one holding the key.